Welcome to the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because with photos worth 1,000 words, videos worth a million. GPS Photo and Video.com. My guest joining me today, all the way from Spain, IFBB women's bodybuilder pro Olympian, perennial Olympian, career women's bodybuilder Virginia Sanchez.
Hello, Glenn. What are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. So thankful for you for joining me today, and I really appreciate your time.
Oh no, thanks for you. Because thanks because you support a lot female bodybuilding. So that means a lot. Also for me and for all my the competitors that we feel I don't know how to explain this, but thank you so much. In Spain, my category is not very famous or following. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I appreciate.
Of course, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time. So
Oh,
now I was glad to see you, and hopefully one day I'm gonna get to see you on stage, and of course photograph you as well.
yeah, thank you so much, Glenn.
You you made a post on Instagram in regards to that you're not going to compete this year. Can you tell me what's going on?
Yes, at the beginning, yes, it was the idea to compete. So, in fact, the application for the racing. At the end, I was invited. I was really excited and motivated, but in that moment, I was starting a process of some changes in my life. I have to solve to look for a one. It was a little stress process, very long to talk here with the details for me. But I really tried. But when I was preparation, I couldn't be focused. My head was and my mind was in other. You know, it was in that process. Some problems comes and also was so stressed. So I couldn't. I was also involved with Alina Pop, and
Hmm.
Winds of Strength. I think I'm not going to compete at the Rising here because I can be focused. They understand with me, of course, and well, I decided to stop the preparation. Well, at the end, everything is done. Everything was okay. It was good. I mean, my new place adapting me to to this place. The different to all one. But well, it's okay. I'm happy, right? But it's very late, so I decided, okay, mm, I'm not going to compete this year, but time goes very fast, you know.
Right.
So I can prepare for the first shows in the season of next year because the shows start, I think, on May. Or, that I. So sometimes also it's good to I also was working with my coach, Ducho
Hmm.
Esguer. He was okay.
Hmm.
He was okay with my decision. I say, okay, Virginia, let's rest. Let's, let's try to improve for next year and also focus on the Master Olympia that qualified. So that was the plan. The plan changed a little, but it's okay. Now I have to start the preparation next month. I will start to
You
try
will
to
start prep next month.
hide. I need sight in my leg. It's very difficult for me because of my genetic. But I I I will try to improve some points. I know it's not mm, easy. If I'm honest, not easy and not possible with my age also. because I'm
Hmm.
53. So next year I will complete with 54.
Right.
So to get sight is not so easy like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But anyway, I will try to improve as much as I can for next year. So that is the plan. Now enjoying my new place, summertime,
Hmm.
and follow the shows, of course. For example, this weekend we have the Chicago. I love Chicago per show. I have
Yeah.
a very good reminds of Chicago. Yes, I also qualified good in that show. So it's one of the idea was Chicago, Rising Phoenix, and the show of Alina Popa in September, Romania. But well,
Oh wow. So your
could not be
initial
possible.
plan. So your initial plan was to do the Rising Phoenix, to do the Alina Popa, and of course do the Chicago.
That was the idea I had in my head for
Hmm.
this season this year. But I try, I really try. But
Right.
I say, oh no,
And
I
to
can't
be
because
clear,
I'm other. My head is in other things, and no.
right. To be clear, it was nothing medical wrong, correct?
Tell me again, Glenn. Sorry.
I said it. To be clear, there was nothing wrong with you medically that you couldn't compete.
No, no. That
Yeah.
is unfortunately that everything okay.
Right. Well, when we saw the news, I was like, wow, um, that was a lot of bad news for fans of yours as well as myself that you're not competing. So now with the Rising Phoenix, and you told Alina Popa, what was the word from the Rising Phoenix? Because you were invited, selected as an invitee to promote it as well as compete in the Rising Phoenix.
Yes, I felt really sad, because when I took the decision not to compete, I was thinking and run around my head. Oof, I say, okay, let's try again. My coach, okay, let's try 1 week more. Virginia, let's see if, oh, but no, I say, okay. But because the racing is show I like a lot, you know, because if you remember when we were took out of the Olympia, the Miss
Hmm.
Olympia, that was what we have, no? The Rising Phoenix Championship was
Yes.
the Olympia for us.
Yes.
So it's a great motivation for me, and also this year to be invited again. The level is going to be amazing this year, Glenn.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Uh, very
did you see
competitive.
the invited girls for the Rising?
Yeah.
The list? Wow.
Ashley Jones is a huge list. You got your usual suspects: Andrea Shaw, Angela Yo. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this all turns
Yes,
out.
it's going to
As I
be a
was,
very great level. So
yeah, like I was
well,
telling Salika Gavan, it's like the Rising Phoenix now is like the prejudging, and then on to the Olympia, which is the finals, because you're really gonna see a lot of people. Gonna see how people look. It's like a first look at the Olympia when you look at the Rising Phoenix. Um, so it's an indicator for sure.
yes. Well, the idea, as I told you before, was to compete at the Rising because last year
Right.
I didn't feel well because I was not as would like to be on that stage. I was okay in the Master Olympia,
Mm-hmm.
but I compete in Alicante at the Europe show, and that makes me feel so bad, and I feel so dismotivated that I was when I arrived. Also, was everything, all the shows very everything was very quick, one show, another, traveling one place very far for away from the other one, you know. So when I arrived to Arizona for the Rising, I was not like at the Master Olympia, for example, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't show a physique that I would like to be on that stage. I was not bad, but not. So
Yeah.
for that, the idea was to be better this year at the Rising. But
Right.
I was honest with myself and I say, no, you are not going to be as you want this year because you are not focused on. But well,
Right.
as I told with Alina, well, if you count with me next year,
Hmm.
I will be there because I love that show.
That's great.
Mm. Yes. Oh,
So
it's
now,
other.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's other Olympia. You know, the
Oh
Rising
yes.
Phoenix and the Olympiads because I think the competitors are more or less the same,
Hmm.
but with the difference that at the Rising they choose the ones they want to be on the stage.
Right.
The Olympia they qualified.
Right. And there's a big difference, but it's still gives you an idea because it's still the best of the best on the stage at the Rising Phoenix, and it's a first look.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when you look at competing next year, and you said you want to choose an early show, early as in one of the Canada shows, how about the Triple O Dynasty?
Um. Yes, I don't the first one I'm not sure which one is
Hmm.
because Puerto Rico's not on the list already.
Yeah, I wish. Oh wow, I wish that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a vacation in of itself.
Mm, yeah. So well Toronto is Toronto and yes it was in Vancouver. Yes, the idea
Yep,
it
in
was
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Right.
I think is one of the
Yeah,
yes I
Van
would
Isle
like to
show, Toronto, and like I said, the Triple O Dynasty in
yes
Arizona. That was April. That was, promoted by Whitney Jones, Sid Gillian, and of course Andrea Shaw. So
I
he'll
would
be
like to
going in
go.
his second
Yeah.
year. I think that's the one you should do.
Hmm. Yes, yes, that is the idea. In fact, I would like to come back to Toronto because Toronto Pro Show was my first professional show
Okay.
after won my pro card, and I have a very good reminds of Toronto and Canada and people
Mm-hmm.
there, and it was amazing because we were a lot of competitors. I think
Uh
we
huh.
were 2022 really great level, high level that year. Um, Between them, I remember I knew Margie in that show, and I was in the top three. So
Mm-hmm.
I was, oh really? I couldn't believe, you know, because when I arrived, my first pro show, and I look around me and say, oh my God, please, I don't want to be the last one. I don't want to be the last one. And they had to call me in the first call out. I think they called me like 3 or 4 times because I say, no, it's not me. And again, at the end, with them, Virginia Santi, yes, you. Oh, me. Oh, it was really amazing. I would like to come back. Anyway, I think the shows
Mm-hmm.
right now are changing a lot. I
Yeah.
remember Chicago, Tampa. They were a very hard shows, you
Mm-hmm.
know, really good, high level, a lot of competitors there.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't know what happened. Mm, You
Yeah.
know, it's,
You think the competition level is not as strong as in years past at the Tampa and the Chicago and the Atlanta?
I think so because perhaps because there are few competitors. You know, I remember Tampa was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We were like 18 competitor. at least. Now, for example, last year, how much? Just seven?
Yeah.
I don't know. In Chicago is well, Chicago is better this year. I think 11 competitors.
Right.
But
Who
if
you
I
got
can,
in Chicago?
what?
Who do you have in the Chicago Pro today?
Hmm.
Who's gonna win?
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah.
I like Tim Gardner is a very good promoter. I like
Mm-hmm.
how he organized everything,
He is.
and
He
the
is a great
shows are
promoter.
amazing. Amazing, the hotels, the organization, everything on time. Mm, the backstage. I remember some shows. I don't know if Chicago or Tampa. We were competing, and at backstage we have the catering. you
Uh
know,
huh.
with everything we could need. And um, it was really good. A very big backstage. We had everything, dumbbells,
Yeah.
mirrors, bars to warm up. I have very good remark. So let's see if I can come
Yeah.
back.
Definitely. But I gotta ask you. I think you skated my question. Who's gonna win the Chicago Pro? You got Sherry Priami. You got Mela Ash, Christy Nally, who's making her pro
As
debut.
I didn't see Myla, how is the shape this year. I
Oh, okay.
didn't see her. But yes, I think could be between Priami and Myla.
Okay.
I think
See.
yes, between both, because
Good
Myla
deal.
has have a beautiful symmetry, beautiful lines.
Mm-hmm.
She's very feminine, and Priami is a very good condition.
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
She is.
wow.
So.
So I think, and you, what do you think?
Oh, I'm just a photographer. I'm not a judge. But I mean, we'll see. Um, Sherry and Mela Ash, everyone was looking for because the number of competitors. You start looking at your favorites, right? With the number of shows that aren't left, and that's why the news is so big that you weren't competing. But you're looking for your favorite competitors: Christian Mendoza, Mala Ash, Rashana Boswell. Um, just to name a few. So you start looking at who was there last year versus this year, and you're trying to find your fan favorites. But we'll let it all shake out on the stage. We'll see. We see
Yeah,
what
mhm,
happens.
definitely.
We'll see what
We have
happens.
to see them there on this stage. Our next one is Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa, and they all may go do Tampa too. You got Tampa, and then you got Anaheim, the Rising Phoenix, and you have
The Aliana Popa
yeah,
show
Lena Popa in Spain, right, in September.
in Romania.
Romania. Okay, yeah,
Romania,
Romania.
yes.
Are you gonna go just to support?
Yes, I think I will because a friend of mine, Christina Goy, she's in fact she's competing also today in Chicago, and she's going to
Mm-hmm.
the Tampa. So I think I'm going to go with her because I don't want her to go alone. So
Right.
perhaps, probably, I will be there supporting her, supporting Alina and the show. Um, it's
Good.
going to be a great level also there.
Will you go to
I don't know.
Tampa to visit? Will you go to the Tampa Pro
No,
just to see? Okay.
no, no Tampa, no
All
Tampa
right.
this year. Very far away. Um,
Yeah.
no. Romania
What's the
is
weather? No, go ahead. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Tell me.
No, I was going to ask you how's the weather in Spain?
Oh, today is really hot. Oof,
Mm.
I'm going to conditioner air because outside is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been hot
Is
here too.
yeah, oof. But
Horrible.
well, I prefer than winter time. I don't like cold weather.
Yeah, but it's too extreme. I mean, I'd rather have 80, 85, not 95, 105.
Uh huh. Wow. Mm.
So,
But well,
last
it's summer.
question.
It's July.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Well, yeah, it is summer. It is summer. Last question. I'll let you out of here on this one. Point system versus win and you're in. Which do you like? Which was better? I think win and in produce more competition because man is up front. If you win, you in. As opposed to points, competitors can start to chase shows. So if you get in on points, you at least got the golden ticket, but uh, it could be the same result on the Olympia stage. But I want to hear from you: point system or win and you're in.
But from the tell me the question again. What system? Sorry, for the
So you,
shows.
yeah, so you had the point system, right?
Ah, the
Where
point.
if you,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
if you didn't win a
Well,
show, you could get points and get in. But now is you win a show
if
and
you
you're
win a
in.
show,
No,
yes,
no more point
I
system.
listen to you now.
Yeah.
Um, of course, well, it was easier to qualify with the points
Mm-hmm.
system because right now you have to win a show, and it's not easy. With the points, you can play with that.
Right.
As much shows you go, more possibilities to qualify.
Right.
So, well, right now it's more difficult, of course, to be at the Olympia because um, it's not easy to win a pro show. You
Mm-hmm.
have also to choose um, the right one, the one you know. Also, the judge, the main judge is going because that sometimes depends on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for example, what happened to me in Alicante uh, last year, I never complained, Glenn. I never used to complain with
Right.
my place, but that was, I didn't like what I see.
Mm.
I didn't like. Um, I think the the judges, the main judges,
Mm-hmm.
have to be professional ones. And I think my category, the woman, they are some of them are a little lost,
Okay.
you know. Mm, Perhaps a lot of categories, physique, bodybuilding, wellness. I don't know why, but mm,
Right.
something sometimes is not clear.
Right.
So it depends also on the judge,
Mm-hmm.
if you like him or her or not. Sometimes it not have to be like that,
Right.
because you present a physique and the judge have to, well, to give the points what they see.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's difficult because it's very subject, subjective,
Subjective.
subjective sport.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult. It's not like athletics or that you have a goal or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like that. This Yes, you can see different physiques and perhaps I like more this, I like more. But for example, last year it was no sense because the top five were so different
Uh-huh.
ones, you know. So no sense that I don't know. I didn't understand
Yeah.
that. But
And
well,
you
it's
talking
okay.
about the top five at the Olympia?
Last year, the Olympic last year, of
Yeah,
course.
the top five at the Olympia. Got you.
Let me remind.
Yeah, I mean, some basically didn't know, thought they could have placed higher. Sherry Priami, you know, could have been three. Michaela Acock, her placing was like okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got you.
Also, yeah, the rising, the top five at the rising.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Some someone I don't see in the
Right.
top five.
Yeah. Who would
I
who do
think
you
you
want to
know
see them?
what I mean and what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
do. I do.
Yeah.
Virginia Sanchez, I so appreciate you for coming on and taking the time out and letting everybody know the why that you're not competing the rest of this season. And I look forward to seeing you next year.
Oh, yes, I hope so. Thank you so
Please,
much, Glenn. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Well,
same here. Same here.
I'm here, you know. So when you want to talk a little, let me know.
Okay. I'll have you come back on. I appreciate that. And
Yes,
let me know what you're doing and how you're doing. And once you figured out what you're going to do next year, yeah, bring you back on and you
yes, I'm
tell me your
looking
plans for.
forward to start again the preparation, you know,
Yeah.
and a little come back to my routine. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
dog. Can you hear?
I hear you.
Come back to my routine and the
Yeah,
preparation again, and let's focus on the show. I
definitely.
will be there again, just a year off.
I know. I'll be waiting. Everybody will.
Well, thank you so much, Glenn.
Thank you so
I
much
send
and
you a
stay in
very
touch
big
and we'll
kiss.
talk again soon.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Have a good day.
You're welcome.
Ciao.
Thank you. Got it.
Ciao.
Bye now. Virginia Sanchez, not going to compete this year, citing that she just moved and just had too many things going on in her life. So now she's settled and getting ready for 2025, and look forward to talking to her again and have her back on the podcast, and hopefully, depending on what show she does next year, try to be there so I can get that photo shoot in. Overseas competitors is tough. Um, Competitors coming across there on the West Coast is tough, and so unless you go to the show, that's the only time that you're going to see them. So that's an argument for saving you money, budgeting, and going to a show to see all these competitors because just like the Atlanta, you know, they come from all over, and it'll be the same thing at Tampa as you saw in Chicago as well. But unless you go to the big shows, more than likely you're not going to get a chance to see them on stage. And more than likely, despite all you can do and want to do, you're not going to be able to set up that photo shoot because they're overseas or they're out in California and things like that. If you have not looked at next week's schedule, then you're obviously not a subscriber to the Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Heavy hitters coming out next week. But coming up on Monday, Sharice Newsom will be joining the podcast. I haven't talked to her in a while and I'm anxious to see what's going on with her. And of course, on Wednesday, as I announced today, Amanda Almodova, who just competed at the Chicago Pro, she will be on Wednesday at 6:30. And then, of course, the interview of the week, Christina Mendoza. Uh, what shows she's going to do? Maybe she's doing Tampa. Maybe she's doing Anaheim. We'll try to find out. And of course, from yesterday's win in the women's physique, Anna Herreras should be joining the podcast as well. So big week lined up next week. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the notifications. And I'll keep you abreast as much as possible. So I will see you guys on Monday. It's been a great week. Continue to subscribe to the Amazon's Fitness Magazine YouTube channel and continue to subscribe to the website because when you do more, then I can do more for the Amazons. I will see you guys on Monday.